Jennifer was a curious and adventurous girl who loved to explore new places. She lived in a small town with her parents and her dog, Sparky. One day, she decided to go to the forest near her house to look for some interesting animals and plants. She packed her backpack with some snacks, a water bottle, a flashlight, and a camera. She also took Sparky with her, who was always eager to follow her. They walked through the forest, enjoying the sights and sounds of nature. Jennifer saw many colorful birds, butterflies, and flowers. She took pictures of them with her camera. She also found some mushrooms, berries, and nuts. She picked some of them and put them in her backpack. She wanted to show them to her parents later. As they went deeper into the forest, Jennifer noticed that the trees became taller and darker. The air became cooler and quieter. She felt a bit scared, but she was also curious to see what was ahead. She turned on her flashlight and continued walking. Suddenly, she heard a loud roar that made her jump. She looked around and saw a big brown bear standing on its hind legs. It had sharp teeth and claws, and it looked angry. It was blocking the path that Jennifer had come from. Jennifer was terrified. She grabbed Sparky and ran in the opposite direction. She hoped to find another way out of the forest. She ran as fast as she could, dodging the branches and roots that were in her way. She soon reached a clearing where she saw a small wooden cabin. She ran towards it, hoping to find someone who could help her. She knocked on the door, but no one answered. She tried to open it, but it was locked. She looked around and saw a window that was slightly open. She decided to climb through it and enter the cabin. Maybe there was a phone or a radio inside that she could use to call for help. She pushed the window open and lifted Sparky inside. Then she climbed in after him. As soon as she landed on the floor, she heard another roar behind her. She turned around and saw the bear had followed her. It had broken the door and entered the cabin. Jennifer screamed and ran to the other side of the room. She looked for something to defend herself with, but all she saw were some old books, clothes, and tools. She felt hopeless and scared. She hugged Sparky and closed her eyes. Then she heard a loud bang. She opened her eyes and saw a man standing in front of her. He had a rifle in his hand and a hat on his head. He had shot the bear and saved Jennifer. He smiled at her and said, "Don't worry, little girl. You're safe now." He introduced himself as Mr. Wilson, the owner of the cabin. He said he was a hunter who lived in the forest. He had heard Jennifer's scream and came to help her. He took Jennifer and Sparky back to his truck and drove them out of the forest. He dropped them off at their house and gave them his phone number. He told Jennifer to call him if she ever wanted to visit the forest again. He said he would teach her how to be safe and smart in the wild. Jennifer thanked him for saving her life. She hugged him and said goodbye. She learned a valuable lesson that day. She realized that the forest was not a place to play alone. She decided to be more careful and respectful of nature from then on. She also made a new friend who shared her love for adventure. The end.